Hi Los Alegres family. As you know, we have a production coming up this year, and our director Becky had approached myself, Angelica, and Angela to see if we could come up with a makeup look that would look great on everybody on stage. So as we know, when you're on stage under the bright lights, your features and your makeup tend to get washed out. So you have to make sure that your makeup is bright, that it pops, that it's next level from what you would wear as an everyday makeup look. So we got together and we did some research on some different palettes, what would look great on everybody's skin tone, would complement everybody's costumes, and we think we came up with something pretty great. So we thought the best way to bring this to you would be to film it so you can refer to it if you need to more than once, if you can just, you can watch it at home in your own time. And hopefully this will help all of you parents as well when you're putting makeup on your children. People that maybe aren't as experienced in makeup, hopefully will be able to help you achieve the look that was gonna make everybody look awesome on stage. So I'm just gonna go through the supplies that you're gonna need right now, and then we will film actually a tutorial on how to apply the makeup. This video is going to mostly focus on eye makeup, but I do want to give you an idea of what you would need to achieve the full face of makeup as I'm wearing right now, and just kind of some things that you should kind of start building in your kit as a performer. And you don't have to spend a ton of money. There's lots of brands that make really good products for very affordable prices. So first of all, what you would need is you would need to purchase a primer, a face primer. Usually they look like this in little tubes. And what this does is it kind of serves as a base before you apply your makeup. It kind of fills in your pores and gives you like a clean canvas to start applying your makeup. So, I mean, any brand is fine. e.l.f. is a brand that makes a lot of really affordable, really great products, and they sell it at Target and drugstores, Walmart. So the face primer first, you'd apply it all over your face, and then you would take foundation, any type of liquid foundation. Again, e.l.f. makes a good one, Wet n Wild, those are kind of some more affordable brands. Target basically is where you'd want to go to pick this up. So then your foundation, this is going to just cover up any small imperfections, give you an even tone across your skin. So it's kind of like laying your canvas. And then you would also want to set your foundation after you apply it with a translucent loose powder. That's going to just kind of lock everything in place and make sure that it doesn't smudge or smear. Then you're gonna wanna take your blush. Now, we thought that we would recommend, if you're gonna purchase any blush, to kind of purchase a warmer tone blush. A lot of the pinks out there have a cool tone, and the makeup look that we picked out for the eyes is more of like a warmer makeup look. So it would really be complemented more by a coral, salmon, kind of blush tones such as this. So try to go with like a warmer blush for this. So again, you can get blush anywhere. And then for you people out there that are more advanced and want to go fancy, you can also do some contouring. So any contour palette would work. Basically what you want to do is you want to contour the cheekbones, under the jawline, side of the nose. Just give yourself some definition if you choose to. It's not a must, but if you like to do that. And now we're going to start with the eyes, and this is, like I said, what we're going to be focusing on today in our tutorial. We're going to teach you how to achieve an eye look that's going to be uniform for everybody, the same colors and same application. So essential to the eye makeup look is a eye primer. This is by Too Faced. Again, MAC, these paint pots, this is Painterly pots. You can get them from e.l.f., Wet n Wild, any of those as well. But you want to apply the primer to your lid, all over your lid first. And that's going to prevent any creasing, smudging. Everything's going to kind of stick in place, and it also makes everything pop more. It's like a base for your eye, and it makes the pigment stand out more from the eyeshadow. So that's a definite must, is picking up an eye primer before you put your eyeshadow on. And then what we came up with for the actual eyeshadows themselves was the James Charles by Morphe palette. This is a palette you can pretty much do any look with because it has a ton of colors in here. This is what it looks like. This is the large version of the palette. This is $39, but he just launched a mini version of this palette, which has all of the same colors in it. The pans are just smaller, and it has a mirror here. So it's great for what we're trying to achieve here. So we wanted everybody to go out and grab this palette. You don't need this big palette. This is the $39 one. The mini one is half this size, so if you cut this in half and flip it like this, it's that big, and it's $26. So that's all you need. And like I said, it comes with a mirror, so it's great for taking on the go to your performances as well, if you need to do touch-ups or even apply your makeup, before the show. So this is what it looks like. We chose 3 colors to go with for the eye look. This one right here, this one right here, and this one right here. So we are going to be showing you how to achieve a look with those colors. Also, if you can see, I have added some pigment to the top of my lids to give it some sparkle, and I used this one right here, and we'll show you how to do that as well. And then this one right here works excellent as a highlighter. If you wanted to put some highlight on your cheekbones, you have that as well. So this is really versatile, and you can use it for anything. You don't even need to use it just for dance. You can use it for everyday looks as well. They have neutrals in here. So we figured this was a really good thing to start with for anyone that's just starting out in makeup, or anyone that's even advanced and wants to learn more about makeup. So this is the palette that we chose. We thought it was something that was affordable and pretty versatile for everybody. And then we can get the makeup to look the same for all of us. Okay, now I do want to say something here about tools. Tools are really important in achieving the makeup look. Never, ever, ever, under any circumstances in the universe, try to apply your eyeshadow with one of these. Never. I don't even know what those are for. So to get a nice eyeshadow that's blendable and it's going to look great, you actually need to invest in some eyeshadow brushes. Now, you only really need 3. And like I said before, e.l.f. does make really good makeup brushes, and they're usually like $1 or $3 at Target. So the 3 brushes you're going to need are your shadow brush, a crease brush, and a fluffy blending brush. Just 3. So they look like this. The shadow brush is kind of like a flat edge. The crease is a smaller one to get inside, detailed into the crease. And the blending brush is usually like a round fluffy brush like this. So definitely have to pick these up, okay? And then, of course, we're gonna have mascara. Any mascara will do. I like to make sure it's waterproof just in case. A lot of times if it's not waterproof, if you sneeze or your eyes get watery, you can get some, some fallout that comes under your eyes. So try and get waterproof. And then eyeliner, just like this thing, don't ever buy the pencil eyeliner. Make sure to have a liquid eyeliner that looks like this. So if you can see that tip, it helps you get really precise. You don't have to have a winged eyeliner. I have a winged eyeliner all the time. This is how I achieve that. It's very easy to apply this. It lasts all day. It doesn't smudge or smear. So make sure you get a liquid eyeliner. And then for the lips, we want to definitely stress that you pick up a liquid lipstick. So they come in a tube like this. Elf makes this as well. This is the Elf brand. This is like $6, I think. So we wanted to let you know that you should always go with a classic red, as I'm wearing right now. That just looks best on stage. No pinks or corals, because that will not even show up under the lights. And then nothing that's too dark, like dark mauves or dark browns. You want to have a nice classic red liquid lip. Now the liquid lips, the reason that we recommend these is they do not smudge, they do not smear. Once you put this on, it's on. You can have a meal, you can drink, you can go skydiving or swimming, it's still gonna be there. So these are really nice as well for us as dancers and performers, because when you're putting on and off costumes, this will not transfer onto any fabric or material of your costumes. It'll stay right on your face, it won't transfer anywhere. So make sure you get a liquid lip in red. Okay, I think that's it for the supplies, so let's just jump into the tutorial. Let's open up the palette and take a look at the 5 colors that we'll be focusing on for this tutorial. The first color we'll be using is right here. It's called 518. Then we're also going to be using this color right here, which is called You're Kidding. Then we're going to hop over here to this larger one, and it's called No Beans. And we're also going to be using the white highlight color, which is called Flashback. And finally, we will be also using this pressed pigment glitter pan, which is called Wig. So you'll be hearing us refer to those 5 colors as we do the application tutorial. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Angela. I am from the Masters Group, and today I'm going to demonstrate how to do eye makeup to my left eye. I'm going to show the version that we would like our children to do for the performances for Los Alegres. So to start off, I am going to start with my lid, and I'm going to use the color palette from that Shannon had talked about, and we're going to start with 518.
Do you want to show them the primer first?
Oh yes, first I'm going to want to prime. This is just to make sure that the colors really pop and they stay put, especially for us dancers, because we're on stage and we really want the color to show, and because we're changing our costumes so much, we want something that's going to be staying on. So we put the primer on. Okay, so we are going to start with 518, and I'm going to start with the lid, and in this I'm just using a flat brush, and I just use it because it helps me control what area it's going into in terms of the lid. So I'm just kind of getting the color all on there. And these colors build up. So, you know, for the stage production specifically, you're gonna want it a little more on the heavier side, just because once the lights get on ya, it can really wash you out easily. So you're gonna wanna make sure you get some good color to start off with. All right, so once you get a comfortable amount of color on there, then you're gonna wanna do a transition color. And that color is gonna go on our crease. So the next one for the crease is going to be, it's gonna be, we're doing You're Kidding as the color for the crease. So for this one, how I do it is I kind of take it and I start from the corner and I work my way in. So how I usually do this is I start with a smaller brush because again, it helps me control, but then what you want to do is you really just want to be able to blend this in. So if that means taking more of a fluffier brush and helping you blend it so that it's not super creased, then you should for sure go ahead and do that. So right now it's a little, it needs to be blended just a little bit more. So this is where I talk about taking a blender and blending it in so that it's not, you don't have harsh lines. And luckily I have one side already done, so you can do a little comparing, make sure it's kind of all even across on both eyes. All right. So then lastly, we are going to go to our final color, which is No Beans. So with this one, this is more, what's the word for this one?
It kind of is more like a smoky eye effect where you have a darker outer V.
Yeah.
It kind of gives your eyes more depth to them.
So depending on how comfortable you are with doing the V, so as you can see, I'm kind of doing this V motion on the outside of my eye. You can definitely use a smaller brush to start off with to kind of give you more control, and then take a bigger brush to blend it in. And that's where I usually start at the end, and then I work my way in to blend it in. All right. So really, you want to just make sure you blend it in and it feels good. You want to make sure it's synced with the other eye. And then what we want to do is put on, what's the brown one? Highlighter?
Yeah, so if you take a very light shade and just put it right under the brow bone, it just highlights and kind of brings your whole look into focus. You just kind of put it on the highest point of your brow bone where the light would catch.
And so for the brow bone, sorry, I did not mention, but we're using Flashback for the brow bone. All right, lastly, we're just gonna put some glitter on the lid area. We're gonna use Wig. And so for this one, you're just gonna go ahead and use your finger for that one. And you're just gonna put the glitter on the part where your yellow, where the orangey brighter color is.
Adds a really pretty shimmer. And when you're on stage under the lights, it really reflects and looks really nice.
All right. Lastly, you're gonna wanna do your liner. For kids, we wanted to keep it very simple. You're just gonna do a simple line across. Liquid liner is best, just because it stays on really well when you're on stage. Okay. And then lastly, you're going to want to finish once your liner is dry. The last part of the look is just to curl your lashes and put mascara on. Okay. So for blush, I'm using the Morphe palette. There's a peachy palette range for blush, and this one I'm using Provocative. Because it's so bright, you want to start light and then build up, so just be careful with this color. We decided to go with more of the peachy scheme because it kind of goes with the range that we were talking about in terms of the gold and the orange and the brown. And again, you know, depending on the show and where you're going to want to always consider the lighting that you have. For production, I do it a little bit more on the heavier side, and it looks scary in person, but when you actually go in the light on stage, you'll realize that it makes a difference because the lights will, as I mentioned before, will wash you out. So you do want it on a little bit of the heavier side for production. I mean, if you're going to do an outdoor show or somewhere else, you know, where lighting is different, then you take those things into consideration. Okay. For the lip, I'm using a Kat Von D. This is more of a lip stain or how do you call it?
Liquid lip?
Liquid lip.
Yeah, we went over that in the supplies. So you want to make sure you have a liquid lip because not only will it stay, but it will not transfer over to your costumes when you're changing. It's going to stay put, and it's not going to smudge, smear, or transfer onto any clothing or costumes.
And I don't use a lip liner, but I mean, if you're scared of using this, use a liner that will help you stay in.
Thank you, Angela. Here you have the completed look for the children for the 2019 Los Alegres production. You look beautiful, Angela. Thank you so much for showing us.
Mm-hmm.
Hi guys, it's Angelica here. So we are gonna make a video today. Shannon and I are here demonstrating a video for makeup for the adults for Los Alegres for this production. So
first of all, Angelica is going to prime her lid with the Too Faced eyeshadow primer. And as I mentioned in the supplies, you can get any eye primer that you find at Target or Walmart. Elf makes a good one. I think it's like $3. You don't have to spend a ton of money. But as Angela was saying, the primer will serve as a base for your eyeshadow, and it will just help all your eyeshadows pop. The color will pop and be more pigmented, show up better under the lights, and it will help it to prevent from smearing or smudging, and it won't rub off on your costumes when you're changing. So now that she has primed her lid, she's going to dip into the color 518, which is the orangey color, and that is going to go on the lid of her eye. So as you can see, she's just putting it right on the lid. For the adults, we thought we would get, these are buildable shadows, and we thought we'd, make them a little bit more brighter, more color for the adults. The kids version is a little bit more subtle, but you can dip into this, several times and keep building up the color till you get it to where you want it to be. And she's applying this with a flat shadow brush.
Maybe just a little bit more here. Make sure I'm covering my entire lid. Okay. Look bright?
Looks really bright, looks great.
Awesome.
So she's gonna move on to the transition shade, which is right here. It's called You're Kidding, right there. She's going to be using a type of crease brush, which is a little bit of an angled brush, and she's going to be applying that just to the crease of her eye. Right over the lid, right where your eye would naturally crease.
Okay.
Great.
So it looks like this now, but sometimes I like to go back and fix things, blend things, but
Yes, you can always use a fluffy blending brush to kind of use like windshield wiper motions over everything and blend it together and smooth it out. Right now it looks like it's could use some blending, but then once you do that, everything kind of what would you say? It just kind of softens the look a little bit and
Yeah.
keeps it bright, but it just softens everything up.
yep. Okay, and then we are going to go to,
And this is called No Beans. And this is going to be put only in the outer corner, kind of like in a V shape. And that it gives you a smoky eye look and just defines the eye and gives it a lot of depth, which looks really great when you're under the lights because like Angela was explaining to you, everything kind of gets washed out. So this will really give your eye, it'll make your eye pop and stand out and look really good under the lights. And you can see she's just applying it in the outer corner of her eye in a little V motion.
and for this, I usually like to use an angled brush, me personally. I find it easier that way. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is I usually take a fluffy brush and I kind of like to blend things in together just so it has a smoother look. So things don't look so choppy.
And as she's doing that right away, you can see it's just softening up the edges and making it look, it pulls it all together. It makes it look really nice.
Okay. So you guys can blend as needed. And then the final step.
So she is going to dip into what is called Flashback. It's the large white pan here. She's going to put that on her brow bone, just under the eyebrow, and it's going to give it a little bit of a highlight. When you're on stage, the light will reflect and it will look really pretty. Pulls all the look together. As a side note for you adults, if you wanted to use highlight also on your cheekbones, that's a great color to do that as well. So you could use that same flashback color with like a larger fluffy highlighter brush and just put that right under your eye, like on your cheekbones, just to highlight that as well.
Okay, and then I like to go and blend just a little bit one more time after everything is on. Okay. Now for the shimmer.
Yeah, so this right here, what is this called again? Give me a second. What is this called? It's called Wig. Sorry. This is called Wig. It's a shimmer, and you want to apply this to your eyelids, and you want to kind of pack it on with your fingertip. This color here doesn't go on with a brush. You use your fingertips for that, and you just add it a little. You add a little bit of shimmer and shine, sparkle to your eyelids. That's going to look really nice under the lights as well.
Okay.
She's looking really pretty.
All right. So now that I'm all blinged out with that wig, the last couple steps, I use a liquid eyeliner. I love Stila because it doesn't smear on me at
That's
all.
one of my favorites too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So this is Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. And for the adults, I know this is not like the easiest. It takes practice. But we wanted to do kind of a winged look, how I have over here. So basically what I'm going to do is trace right above my eyelashes. So the liner is, in place. And for people who are not used to doing eyeliner, sometimes it's easier to connect the lines instead of doing like one long swipe. But again, this is all practice. And you can make it as thin or as thick as you want.
So you can see she's kind of pulling the outer edge of her eye. I do the same thing. It kind of gives you more control and it makes you be able to do it more precise, especially when you're doing the winged eyeliner look. This really helps if you just tug a little bit on the outside of your eyelid to just make everything smooth out.
So typically what I do is kind of get to the outer edge of my eye, and once I'm there, I just kind of do a little bit of this winged effect.
So you can see she's just extending where her natural lid ends. She's just extending that line out. That's all she's doing.
Just a tad. And try to make it as uniform with the other eye as possible. Again, it's like trial and error. So you can make the wing as short as long as you want, I guess, but for these purposes, we'll stay there. And then last but not least, I'm gonna do mascara for this eye. There is a mascara that I really like. I'm not using it right now. It's by Dior, D-I-O-R, and it's called Blackout. It's at Sephora and I believe Ulta, and that one is really dark. It's really nice mascara. So that's the eyeshadow look, and then the last step that I'm going to do is just shading or darken my eyebrows a little bit. You just have to find a color that works best for you, for your skin tone, and we'll go, nicely with your eyebrows.
And she's just filling them in with powder with shadow. So she's actually using the palette right here. And she just dipped into a little bit of it right here,
This
brown.
last color.
And she's just filling in her eyebrows, and it makes it look really nice. Frames her face, makes them stand out.
Okay.
Great job.
And then, thank you. And then we're going to go to cheeks. So for this one, I don't know what color.
So Angela used this one here.
Provocative.
Yeah, because what we were talking about is for this look, you want to have a warmer toned blush. A lot of the pinks are cool tone, and it's not going to look as great with this look or under the lights. So we opted to use like a peachy or a coral blush, and that's kind of what this is. This is the Morphe palette, the blush palette, but I showed you some other versions yesterday on film that would be just as good of an option. So any type of blush that has like a warm tone to it would be perfect.
Okay. And then I just do this on my cheekbones here. And like Angela said, if, you know, you see this like in person, it's like, oh my gosh. But we're on stage and we need it to pop, and with all the lights not have us washed out. So,
Looks great.
and then, thank you. I think that is,
We wanted to add as well that if you wanted to, for the adults, you can always use some fake eyelashes on top of this look right here. You can get those anywhere for like $3 to $5, and you want to make sure you get a lash glue, one that doesn't come with the set because those ones don't really stick well. So I would recommend what's called Duo, D-U-O, and it's in a little tube, and those work really nice to keep your lashes on all night.
okay, so to finalize our look, we're going to do the lips. Sounds like Becky is wanting a red lip, so we have a red lip here.
And this is another liquid lipstick. The same one that I used and Angela used, and this is going to stay all day. If you eat or drink, it'll still be there. It's not going to smear or smudge, and it won't transfer onto your costumes when you're changing. So it's a great thing to have when you're performing.
Okay, and the other nice thing about this liquid lip is that I personally don't feel like you need a lip liner for it. I mean, everybody, you know, do what is best for you, but I usually don't use lip liner with these kinds of things. And then some of them, there's a lot of mattes out there with makeup now, so if you need to, you can always buy like a clear lip gloss and, you know, put it over if you don't like that drying effect that the matte has. So, but it's all personal preference, but yeah, liquid lip is amazing.
Thank you so much, Angelica. I hope
you,
everybody
guys.
enjoyed this video and learned at least one thing. See you on stage.